Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when and how you're listening to this. Welcome to Improving ROI for Data, how Brainshark transformed a data management program into an ABM-focused revenue data operations team. My name is Sean Crowley, and I'm pleased to be joined here today by Kate O'Leary. Kate works for Brainshark. She's the Director of Revenue Data Operations there. And I'm really excited here about the topic and the content that we have to share. I find it's really timely and really relevant to what we as B2B sales and marketing and operations professionals are dealing with today. So just very quickly, a rundown on the agenda. I'm going to start things off talking about why the ROI of data quality now needs to incorporate risk as a key component when you look at the value of data and how you go to market. I'm going to hand things off to Kate, and she's going to talk about the data management transformation that they went through at Brainshark, and she helped lead. And then I'm going to come together and we'll talk about some key takeaways and wrap things up from there. So just to kind of jump into things, data management is now more important than ever, right? Most go-to-market strategies are highly dependent on engaging the right accounts across the buyer's journey that they're going through. And this really takes having good, high-quality data in which to analyze and identify your ideal customer profiles. And once you've identified who fits those ideal profiles, to target them across multiple channels and provide a consistent brand and customer experience, regardless of how a prospect or a customer chooses to engage with you. Then you need to engage and nurture them. You need to personalize content and reduce friction in the buyer's journey. And that all comes with deep insights into the companies and the personas that you're targeting. And then you need to empower sales to close deals faster by giving them more relevant information at their fingertips so they can identify who's showing buying intent, who's actually in market through their digital first and third party intent signals. And they can use that to prioritize their efforts and focus on the accounts that have the highest propensity and the highest likelihood to turn into a profitable, long-term valuable customer. But most organizations really are experiencing a major disruption to business as usual. Look at us here. We are at a virtual conference. No longer do we have the opportunity to engage with in-market buyers face-to-face physically at a conference like SD Summit. But we're here nonetheless. We're engaging in a virtual world. But I think it's really important to note that most sales and marketing strategies in the B2B space have been completely disrupted. And those in-person meetings no longer are taking place. COVID-19 has stalled the economy in a dramatic fashion in a very short period of time. And that means that organizations more than ever have to focus on managing their data in a continuous fashion. I just saw today that TripAdvisor laid off 900 employees. So what traditionally has been fairly static numbers in terms of employee size, revenue size, those types of metrics that haven't really changed that much on a percentage basis over the last 10 or 15 or 20 years are going through some very dramatic changes right now. And I think it's important for everybody to recognize that and incorporate that into their go-to-market strategy. Because I said this has disrupted how you go to market, and so you have to adjust appropriately. Marketers, we're going to experience reduced budgets. There's no doubt about it, right? Sales pipelines are full of uncertainty. What you thought was a solid deal might not have funding in the next 3, 4, 6 weeks or months going forward. And then collections, if you think about it, everybody's trying to do what's right for the customer. So organizations are starting to offer more flexible payment terms, which is going to have an impact on cash flow, which is going to further put stress on budgets. So it's a cascading effect that everybody has to be aware of and adjust appropriately. So when you think about what used to be the way to go to market, business as usual, focused on fit and intent. How do I identify the right accounts? And how do I unmask where they are in the sales cycle? Still very relevant, but more importantly now, you have to incorporate financial risk into those considerations. There are whole industries that have been disrupted and probably aren't worth significant marketing investment or advertising investment to reach and influence those buyers. If you have low-cost platforms to engage with those audiences, I suggest you do that. But you want to focus limited dollars that you have on those that have had less of an impact on their industry, on their business as a whole, so you can generate more confidence in the pipeline and the revenue that you generate for your business. One example of how this actually plays out, if you look at two different kind of waterfalls here, one on the left side, business as usual, you got $1,000 budget, and you've got your traditional metrics, conversion metrics in terms of leads to meetings to sales, and your customer acquisition cost is a pretty straightforward calculation. However, as we're moving forward and organizations are filled with a lot more uncertainty, number one, your budgets are less. Number two, that generates fewer leads and impacts those conversion rates throughout the waterfall, resulting in fewer deals. And then on top of that, of the deals that actually get closed, you may end up with collection problems. So your cost of acquisition goes up, and the profitability of some of those deals can go down as well. It's a very challenging focus and can lead to a lot of uncertainty and lack of confidence. And that's what we want to help you solve for by focusing on data management and incorporating risk into your go-to-market strategy and planning, because doing that will ensure stronger revenue confidence by being able to understand and allocate dollars more appropriately. So with that, I'm going to hand things off to Kate now to talk about her transformational story and focusing on data management and turning that into revenue data operations at Brainshark.
Great. Thank you so much, Sean, and thank you for having me to speak on this topic. It's obviously very important right now, and so I'm excited to be here. For those of you who aren't familiar with Brainshark, we are a all-in-one data-driven sales readiness platform that offers our customers the ability to prepare their client-facing teams with the knowledge and skills to perform at their best. We are here this week at the marketplace, so we'd love for you to come and check us out and see what we're doing. A lot of exciting things here at Brainshark. So myself and a small team of now revenue data operations professionals are in charge of managing our entire data strategy and management at Brainshark. And so I wanted to talk today a little bit about looking backwards to 2 to 3 years ago, when we had some changes in our organization and really had a need to address the data challenges going on in our CRM. So when we're looking back, our challenges were we had missing or incomplete data that was impacting our productivity on the sales side. We had lack of insight into our full territories. Our reps were looking for opportunities to expand in their customers and prospect accounts. Trust in the database was relatively low in terms of there was no single source of truth. And then we were too reactive in our data management practices. We were finding ourselves, taking a lot of support requests, answering questions on, parent account ownership or revenue or industry. And so we weren't really able to, build a really good and solid data foundation and a practice at Brainshark. So, and another key element here was we had a new chief sales officer who had some plans for new territory alignment. And some new folks coming in and that were new to the team and new to my team. And we really wanted to make sure that we had our corporate hierarchies in check at a place where we could help our sales reps grow their business and help support our customers better on the customer success side. So we knew we needed to clean up our data. We needed to align to our marketing ABM strategy. We wanted to support sales and marketing better. We needed to structure our data to support our business goals. And we wanted to be able to help fuel programs that made our outreach successful and provided more insights so that we knew, where we needed to spend our dollars and what accounts we needed to go after. So the first thing we did was really looked at D&B as a partner in our data management project or our data management journey. And the first thing that we did was we started with a database health scan, which was the crawl phase or the 30,000 foot view of, what does the database look like today? What I liked about this for us was that it was a very visual, straightforward PDF that allowed our executive team to understand where the needs were, and it really helped drive buy-in early on. So a lot of folks that I talk to, they, and myself as well, we struggle with budget or personnel or really where to start. And this was a good place to start and say, all right, how many linkage opportunities do we have? And by linkage opportunities, what I mean is, how many accounts are in Salesforce or in your CRM and don't have a parent organization and need one. And so that allowed us to structure our data in order to provide our reps with an entire corporate family instead of them looking around and finding out that a small mid-market company was actually owned by an enterprise company. So that's one example of where the health scan really showed our executive team the impact of partnering with D&B and what that could provide to us in the future. So the next thing, that we looked at was how do we get some quick wins? Anytime you're going to do a data cleanup or a data project or establish any kind of governance program, it can be overwhelming. And it was overwhelming for us. So what we tried to do was we tried to make it official. We tried to formalize the program. We gave it a name. We gave a mission statement. We appointed a data steward. So, we said this person or these people are responsible for the following. And it really allowed us to let everybody at the company know that we were dedicated and committed to cleaning up our data. So at my company, we called it the Data Quality Initiative. It was an 18-month project. But like I always say, data is never done. So we did a soft close of the project, after 18 months where we said, this is where we ended, we started here. We feel comfortable with, where we're at right now. And here's what we're going to do moving forward to address, the inevitable changes in data going forward. So in doing that, and how we got some more quick wins was we gave clear ownership of tasks. And I know a lot of you may be a team of one, and I was too at one point. So I know how that can feel a little overwhelming. So I think what I try to tell folks and what I would suggest there is just, having clear and specific goals. Don't try to do too much at once. Take small bite-sized tasks and try to, get some quick wins out of that. So one thing that we did was we said, okay, we're going to make sure that every account in Salesforce has a DUNS number. If it doesn't have a DUNS number, there's a good chance that it probably isn't an account we want to go after. And so that was an opportunity for us to clean up the data and then provide that result to the executive team and the sales management team as a win and say, we made great progress on the project this week and we were able to delete a bunch of accounts. So I would say be transparent when you provide updates. We did a weekly communication of where things were with the project, and that was a great way to say, here's what we achieved this week, and try not to overpromise, but be transparent at the same time. So for us, we built out a really detailed project plan with different timelines. And like I said, 18 months is a long time. So, we prioritized the things that were most important. And what was most important for us was the family tree linkage. So that was what we focused on the outset. And then every week we would provide the project plan as an attachment, but also gave a high level overview so that people stayed engaged and didn't get overwhelmed with details. So in that, we were able to sort of shift our focus to more of a revenue ops group. So we're making our decisions now confidently. We're data-driven. We have more control over our data. We have about a 95% match rate in Salesforce. We removed 10,000 accounts. We're able to give marketing data-driven insights. So if they want to run a deep industry campaign to a certain sub-industry, we're able to provide that data to them. We linked over 4,000 accounts to a hierarchy. We have a clearer understanding of our company journey and our ideal customer profile. We have fewer support inquiries about what's the data structure, what's the revenue on this account, and we're able to be proactive. As I mentioned before, we can spend time doing activities that help drive more revenue and help move deals through the pipeline rather than cleaning up data. So what it looks like today, and I'll just run through this quickly. This is a lot to unpack, but really we're partnering with D&B to use their optimizer for Salesforce tool to utilize data stewardship and keep our data in check. So we're continuously updating records. We're integrated with Optimizer. We have a more advanced ABM strategy. We're able to give insights into different territories and plan better. And then we're also tying that to the initiatives and the goals of our business. So we're able to provide more corporate insights, a more seamless sales planning process, and better productivity overall. So what's next for us? So we're looking to move forward always. So the next thing that we're really looking to do is take a more data-driven approach to how we previously define our ideal customer profile, and also the different tactics and data that we're using to fuel our ABM plans. We're prioritizing accounts and looking to expand certain territories for our sales teams, looking at D&B's data vision tool, which will help align the fields and Salesforce that we care most about with the entire D&B data set. And then we're using our internal sales enablement team to go through refresher training. D&B has lots of different tools like company alerts and triggers and things that are really helping our reps to sell better and have the insights that they need. And then we're working through a really great offer that D&B is giving right now, which is a pipeline health scan report. So that's going to help us focus our efforts for the second half of the year and how we can look at the territories that are most impacted by COVID-19 and plan around that. So with that, I'm going to send it back over to Sean to wrap it up.
Great. Thanks, Kate. And just a really great story there. I think that, you guys didn't try to boil the ocean, but you were very diligent about how you walk through it. I like not over-promising. There's that under-promise and over-deliver balance that you try to create, with these types of projects. But I think at the end of the day, one of the key things that struck me was that you really focused on quality over quantity of data. Right? You had a clear ideal customer profile, who you're going for, and the target markets that you wanted to go after. So it wasn't necessarily about volume. It was really about honing in on what mattered most to you.
Definitely.
I think, yeah, and I think that establishing that data quality foundation that enables the insights that you need really is, when you set that up, as you're doing right now, you have DUNS numbers throughout the database. Now you can, it's easy enough to take advantage and expand that into new capabilities and deeper insights into that. I think it's also very important when you look at these types of projects is to really that clear roles and responsibilities definition. Once you can do that and you understand who owns what, you can open the lines of communication and understand kind of the chain of command and who is actually the person to turn to. I also think, you want to look for opportunities for automation wherever you can. The continuous data management nature with how rapidly data is changing today is really, really important. I think measurement is another key factor, and there's a couple of things on the next slide here that go to this last point of understanding your risk, but recognize your potential. And I really think you mentioned a couple of things that you took advantage of, and one that you want to take advantage of. That first is that free data health scan, and like you said, it's a free report that we do a quick analysis on your database and help you visualize what your data looks like at scale, and help you prioritize areas to address first for remediation, but also to communicate up and help to build a business case to actually fund these projects. You also mentioned this free pipeline risk analysis. This is something that we've just recently come up with in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, and it is a look at, if you send us a list of the accounts in your pipeline right now, we'll do an analysis looking at the geographic, financial, and economic impact that COVID-19 is having on businesses worldwide, to give you a sense of what risk may be present within this pipeline. It's a free report. We can turn it around in a couple of days, so I highly encourage anybody on this line to take advantage of that. It's a great way to gain some quick insights and generate stronger confidence. And then finally, we have a data quality ROI calculator, and it's a way to start actually inputting variables that relate to your business and start to understand what the direct and indirect cost and opportunity data quality has for your business. So understand, how does data quality impact your go-to-market strategy, your customer service strategy, your customer retention, as well as the cost to maintain it overall. And again, it's a great way to start building a business case to actually fund these initiatives and help senior executives understand, visualize and understand the economic impact that data has on a business. And then our representatives, our data experts are ready, willing, and able to have these discussions and go through the results of any of these reports with you. We're also in the marketplace, so I highly encourage you to walk on over with your fingertips over to the marketplace here in this virtual conference, and have a chat with us. We've got a number of people ready and able and willing to engage, and as well over on the Brainshark booth in the marketplace as well. So thank you very much. I wish you all a great day, and wish you all the best, and stay safe, please.